Jumander.
And Pikachu.
Alright. Let's just get this started right off. Kane's right in front of us, we can't leave him waiting.
Transfer. Analyze.
Alright, so when I said that there's not a whole lot of backtracking, I really meant that. You don't go back to a lot of the places. However, you go back to Kazakh about 5 times.
Well, I mean, they put a lot of effort into this stage.
Yeah, I mean, there's lightning. Oh.
What are you doing?
I'm showing off the fire.
Oh, you're showing off our first trick.
Yeah.
Her name's Fire.
That's all it is. The worst part is when you're out, you just kind of jut your elbow out. You can't actually attack unless you switch back manually to the Plasma Cipher. So you played the Genesis one, right?
Yes.
How do you feel the hit detection, just from looking at it, the hit detection on this versus the Genesis?
It can't be any worse.
Yeah, there you go. See, a lot of people complain about this game for it being buggy, and that's indisputable. But compared to, like, the Genesis arcade port...
Well, it's because it's an arcade port, which is the difference between this and the Genesis game. For those of you who don't know the Genesis Strider game, it's an arcade port. And by arcade port...
Are you making fun of me?
No, I'm explaining.
Oh.
It's an arcade port, and by arcade port, I mean a literal arcade port.
Yeah.
Like, they just, like, literally ripped it out of the box and shoved it in a cartridge, and it's awful.
I believe some... Well, yeah, the biggest problem is that they don't have enough memory on the Genesis. We still don't have key frame. But the other problem is that I believe they cut content from the Genesis port.
I believe they had to, because they couldn't get it all into the cart.
Well, I think they cut a few of the bosses, or at least one of the bosses, because they just didn't have the, the memory for the sprites or something like that. I think they replaced one of the bosses with just fighting the giant mecha gorilla thing again.
I'll be perfectly honest, I didn't get far enough in that game to find out, because...
I don't blame you. Even beating the first stage, your first, like, handful of attempts is really, like...
I mean, it was one of those games that, since I had it via the grocery store...
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't have to, like, worry about, like,
Ever returning it.
Yeah, right. So, like, I could dig around with it, but...
Alright, so now we can go in the other path. We can't go up there yet, because I can't triangle jump that much, but it doesn't matter. This is the way we're supposed to go. Here, we have the third boss.
So, you are Hero.
Jesus Christ. Strider's power. But we don't have many of Strider's powers. And this boss... This is the worst fucking boss. At least the stupid thing, the train control unit, shot back.
Oh, I'm just gonna drive at you. What?
And Carl Pilkington was...
What's my boyfriend doing hanging up like that?
I had no response.
Good, I'll have to take it back to my days. Wink, wink.
Alright,
This video game is problematic as fuck.
And for some reason he had a file in here with him.
Well, why do you think?
And for some reason it just flashes you back. You don't have to backtrack that time.
Well, magic. Yep.
Yep.
I think you could have ended on that note, but yeah. Like, that ought to be the thread title.
So no... You can't possibly, unless you've read the manga, or if it was in the instruction booklet, but if it was, again, it was badly translated, you can't possibly know what any of that means. I'll probably try to explain it in the thread, but not very well.
Why don't you just link us to the manga?
Nobody wants that. Yes, on his way to Japan to meet the chief.
What does the chief know, though?
He knows about Zane, the devil's weapon. The end.